Hello, third graders. We are going to be reading a book by Judy Blume called Freckle Juice. It is one of my favorite books. It's a very silly book, but it's super fun, and I hope that you guys like it. Here's the picture on the front, the cute little boy. And this is a funny story about a boy who wants to have freckles. He thinks his life will be better with freckles. This is chapter 1. This is what it looks like. It's a little boy sitting behind another little boy that has lots and lots of freckles on his face. Chapter 1. Andrew Marcus wanted freckles. Nicky Lane had freckles, and he had about 1,000,000 of them. They covered his face and his ears and the back of his neck. Andrew didn't have any freckles, and he had 2 warts on his finger, but they didn't do him any good at all. If he had freckles like Nicky, his mother would never know if his neck was dirty, so he wouldn't have to wash, and then he'd never be late for school. Andrew had plenty of time to look at Nicky's freckles. He sat right behind him in class. Once he even tried to count them. But when he got to 86, Miss Kelly called, "Andrew, are you paying attention?" "Yes, Miss Kelly," Andrew said. "Good. Andrew, I'm glad to hear that. Now, will you please pick up your chair and join your reading group? We're waiting for you." Andrew stood up in a hurry. His reading group giggled, especially Sharon. He couldn't stand Sharon. She thought she knew everything. He picked up his chair and carried it to the corner where his reading group sat. "You may begin, Andrew," said Miss Kelly. "Page 64. Andrew turned the pages in his book. 64, 64. He couldn't find it. The pages kept sticking together. Why did Miss Kelly always have to pick on him? Everybody else had their books open to the right page. Sharon kept giggling. She covered her mouth to keep in the noise, but Andrew knew what was going on. He finally found page 64, right where it was supposed to be, between 63 and 65. If he had his own freckles, he wouldn't have to count Nicky Lane's. Then he could hear Miss Kelly when she said reading groups, and nobody would be laughing at him. Later, when the bell rang, Andrew poked Nicky Lane. "What do you want?" Nicky asked, turning around. Here's the picture. They're sitting in their reading groups. He's taking his chair over. "I was wondering about your freckles," Andrew said. "Oh yeah? What about them?" Andrew felt pretty silly. "Well, how do you get them?" "What do you mean, how? You get born with them, that's how." Andrew thought that's what Nicky would say. Some help he was. "Line up, boys and girls," said Mrs. Kelly. "Time to go home. Sharon, you may lead the girls. Andrew, you can lead the boys." Some luck. Just when he got to be the leader, he had to stand next to Sharon. When they were in line, Sharon whispered to him, "Psst, I know how to get them." "How to get what?" said Andrew. "Freckles," said Sharon. "Who asked you?" "I heard you ask Nicky about them." Sharon ran her tongue over her teeth. She was always doing that. "Do you want to know how to get them?" Sharon asked. "Maybe," said Andrew. "It'll cost you 50 cents. I have a secret recipe of freckle juice," Sharon whispered. "A secret recipe?" "Uh-huh." Sharon's tongue reminded Andrew of a frog catching flies. He wondered if Sharon ever got a mouthful of bugs the way she opened her mouth and wiggled her tongue around. Andrew inspected Sharon's face. "You don't even have freckles," he said. "Look close," said Sharon. "I've got 6 freckles on my nose." "Big deal. A lot of good 6 will do." "You get as many as you want. 6 was enough for me. It all depends on how much freckle juice that you drink." Andrew did not believe Sharon for 1 minute. Not 1 minute. There was no such thing as freckle juice. Andrew had never heard of such a thing before. That's the end of chapter 2. We'll read chapter 1. We'll read chapter 2 next week and find out if Andrew decides to take Sharon's secret recipe. I hope you guys like this book. Remember, it is called Freckle Juice, if you guys want to read along, by Judy Blume. I am also in the library from 8:30 to 12:30 every single day. And if you want to make an appointment for a later time or an earlier time, go ahead and email me on the school email, and I will meet you at the library. I hope you guys have a great week. I miss seeing you. Bye.